Write like a man. Use a typewriter.
Regale us, sir.
So, this one is from D.
Okay. From Mrs. Burrell.
She who must be obeyed.
Well,
Real powerful
yes.
one. Wait a minute. Got to turn this off if we're going ghost stories.
There we
Got
go.
to go dark. And I've got to think back here, so I'm just a vague outline. So she's at work. She's in the chiller.
Now, where does D work?
In the store. She works at Tesco's.
That's right. It's like a grocery store.
Yeah, it's the biggest chain in the UK.
It's like our Kroger or our Walmart.
And the chillers, I'm assuming
Yeah.
it must be like the freezer or the refrigerated area, or what is this?
Refrigerated area, and it's about, I don't know, 40 foot by 40 foot.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yeah.
So she's inside there, and she's organising the stock in there, and there is stock all around her on moving trolleys.
Yeah.
And there's one other person in there, and all of a sudden they hear steps, and they look through the cage, through the trolleys of stock, and they see a pair of feet walk along.
Oh boy!
And then they stops, and they hear something mumbled, so they call out and say what, and then an ear-splitting scream hits them.
Wow!
And then nothing. And the feet are gone, and the door doesn't open, and the door didn't open before the feet walked in, and they just stood there.
Did these feet have shoes? Do you know?
It had leather sandals.
Really?
Nice.
There was a Roman. There was a Roman centurion trapped in. So
were these women's feet? Did they have hair on them?
Men's feet. Manly feet.
Well, men who wear sandals typically scream.
Please. Please.
Man.
Wow.
Man,
And
so
she told me, and I said, well, who was taking the mick out of you then? She went, no one. I'm not going back in the chiller tonight. Okay.
No. Oh my gosh. So it's her and another person together.
Yep,
they
both saw it. They both heard it, and they both ran out the chiller and wouldn't go back in.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. So this scream came from a pair of leather sandaled feet that were inside the chiller with them.
Yep.
And no doors had opened.
Is the chiller a big room?
40 foot by 40 foot.
Yeah,
40 by 40. Okay,
Yeah.
wow, yeah. Ugh.
Yeah. And I mean, the sandals, that's an important detail because no one's going to hang out in that room, in the chiller room, wearing sandals for
Not at 2
however
degrees
long.
Celsius.
Right. For however long it takes to, spook somebody.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So so this building, it's essentially a supermarket, a grocery.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything unique about the grounds that it sits on?
That was my question. Yep.
Yes. So
Really?
just behind it is something called St. Saviour's. And St. Saviour's was a leper hospital from the medieval period.
Whoa.
And the graveyard goes under the warehouse of the store.
They built the warehouse on an old leper graveyard.
Oh my gosh.
You know what though? Here's the thing. So like in America, if you do that, America's pretty big, right? Like it's like, okay, you asked for it, right? Like you could have gone anywhere, but you chose to do this. You chose to build this on some Indian burial mounds or you know what I mean? Or an old Civil War gravesite or whatever. In England though, you guys have such a rich and lengthy history. Like is it kind of like you can't go a foot without stepping on something where there was a battle?
Yeah,
it's
everywhere.
Your history's everywhere, right? So
yeah,
is it kind of unavoidable in England?
I think the problem is that, especially with things like St. Saviour's that were built as part of towns, as the towns have grown, it becomes unavoidable that some of that land is used.
Yeah. Yeah. Because what else do you turn it into? You know, like
Exactly.
you
And I
know,
mean,
what do
don't
you-
get me wrong, they've built a nice little viewing walkway round to the ruins of the leper hospital.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But
Because that's
yes,
what you look at.
but the
Yeah. A leper hospital, a
Graveyard.
cemetery,
Yeah.
a leper hospital cemetery, and they've been like, yeah, let's build a big warehouse over
Yeah,
that.
medieval.
A
at
big
that.
empty space.
So they've had a few centuries to really think about.
Man.
yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Really ponder.
They
You
don't.
know.
They don't. They just build on top. They don't relocate. Yeah, there's nowhere to relocate the
Where
bodies
do you
to,
want-
right?
Yeah, where do you think?
They have to exhume and relocate here.
Mm.
That's true. Yeah.
And
No, they
it reminds
didn't.
me, at the end of the street on, where you grew up,
Mm-hmm.
at the end of that street, there was the park. There was
Oh,
a
yeah.
little common area in
With
the
the pond.
subdivision, and there was only the road went around it. Yeah, it was about maybe a 4-acre
Yeah.
plot of land, and there were houses built all around it,
Yeah.
but nothing built in it. And it was kind of like a shared little park, couple
Yeah.
of little sidewalks. It was nice, little gazebo.
Okay.
There was one house built on that 4-acre circle,
Yeah.
and it was directly at the end of your street. And that part, the reason they didn't build any other houses on that park is because it was an Indian burial ground.
Really?
And the one house that was built on that park could not keep tenants.
Really?
It would roll over, it would flip over and over and over and over. No one could stay there. And even mom and dad mentioned, like, we have no idea who's living there because the last people we met, they moved. The people before them came in. They were here for about 6 months to a year. They moved. It was just a revolving door, that one house.
That's a hell of a memory Nick has because even I don't remember that.
Oh, it scared the crap out of me. It scared the
Yeah.
crap out of me. Yeah. I gave that house a wide berth.
I'll have to find that on the map later.
Yeah, I'll show you where it's at.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Easy to find. Google Maps. I'll take you right to it.
See?
If it hasn't been leveled.
Nick's like, I know right where it is. I
Yeah.
drive past it once a month
Yeah.
just to make sure that
I know
it's
the
changed.
demons' names. I got it all mapped out.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one, Adam. So is that where most of the activity comes from? Is the fact that it's built on that leper cemetery?
In that shop, yes.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. So there's a monk
Mm-hmm.
and there's a lady, and the monk only seems to target the women in the shop.
Oh, okay. That's what you want. You know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But when you think about it, it kind of makes sense. So
Yeah.
a leper hospital run by monks wouldn't
Yeah.
have allowed women.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He's trying to run him off. You know.
He's going to do the afterlife
He's like-
his way.
Yep.
Yeah.